Stop scrolling, just for a moment. How many tabs do you have open right now? How many times have you checked your phone in the last 5 minutes? If your brain feels like a browser with 50 open tabs, each screaming for attention, you're not alone. I used to be just like you, living a life dictated by screens, bouncing between apps like a digital pinball. It was exhausting and, frankly, a little embarrassing. But what if I told you that your struggle to focus isn't a flaw, but a symptom? A symptom of something far deeper and far more insidious. And what if the cure was simpler and more counterintuitive than you ever imagined? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why your brain is constantly distracted, but you'll have the exact tools to reclaim your focus and maybe, just maybe, unlock the most productive, creative version of yourself. Part 1. The digital addiction you didn't know you had. Let's be brutally honest. My day, much like yours, used to begin and end with a glowing rectangle. Alarm blares, grab phone. Breakfast, iPad next to the stove. Work, laptop, desktop, another smart device constantly buzzing like a tiny, insistent mosquito on my wrist. But among all these digital overlords, one reigned supreme. My phone. A beautiful, dastardly little box of dopamine hits. I could lose hours to it, every single day. So I did something drastic. For 1 month, I essentially broke up with it. Cold turkey almost. I limited myself to a mere 30 minutes a day. For everything. Maps, calls to mom, music, podcasts, even scrolling through bizarre cat videos. And what happened next? Well, it changed everything. My attention span, which felt like it was shrinking faster than my savings account, grew. Ideas, which usually appeared about as often as a comet, started flowing. And my future plans? They became crystal clear. Just getting rid of one simple device led to these 3 profound shifts. Why? Why does this tiny piece of tech have such a chokehold on our brains? Part 2. The 40-second attention span and the dopamine trap. Here's the inconvenient truth. Our brains, in this hyper-connected world, are struggling. The research is chilling. When we work in front of a computer, especially with our phone nearby, we focus on one thing for an average of just 40 seconds before we switch tasks. With collaboration tools like Slack open, that drops to a mind-numbing 35 seconds. 35 seconds! Imagine trying to build a skyscraper or even a decent sandwich with a 35-second attention span. It's impossible. But here's the kicker, the real gut punch. We think we're distracted, but that's just a symptom. The real, insidious root cause? Our brains are overstimulated. We don't just get distracted, we crave it. Why? Because our minds are wired for novelty. There's a mechanism, the novelty bias, where our brain rewards us with a hit of dopamine, that glorious pleasure chemical, every time we encounter new information. It's the same chemical rush you get from eating a whole medium pizza from Domino's, or, well, you get the idea. You check Facebook, you get that hit. So not only do we crave distraction, our own brains are actively rewarding us for seeking it out. It's a vicious cycle, isn't it? A digital drug, freely available. Part 3. The radical cure, rediscovering boredom. So, if overstimulation is the problem, what's the opposite? This might surprise you, boredom. Yes, that uncomfortable, restless feeling we actively try to avoid. That feeling you get on a Sunday afternoon after a crazy week, wondering, what now? I decided to lean into it. I challenged my website readers to find the most mind-numbingly boring tasks imaginable. And for a month, I subjected myself to an hour of pure boredom every single day. Day 1, I read the iTunes terms and conditions for an hour. Turns out it's shorter than you'd think, but no less soul-crushing.
Day 4. I waited on hold with the Air Canada baggage claims department. Pro tip: if you really want to be bored, don't call reservations. Call baggage claim. You'll wait for eons. Day 19. I counted all the zeros in the first 10,000 digits of pi. Ugh. And 27 other activities just as thrilling. Sounds like torture, right? It was. But here's the magic. I noticed the exact same effects as my phone experiment. My attention span expanded. My mind stopped seeking distraction because it was no longer overstimulated. And the really fun part? Ideas, plans, they struck me like lightning. Why? Because my mind finally had a chance to wander.
Part 4. The superpower of scatter focus. J.R.R. Tolkien famously said, "Not all those who wander are lost." And it turns out the exact same principle applies to our focus. If you think about when your best, most brilliant ideas hit you, you're rarely laser-focused on a spreadsheet. Maybe you were in the shower this morning or taking a walk. Your mind had the freedom to connect disparate thoughts to form ideas that would never have materialized if you were glued to your screen. I call this deliberate mind-wandering scatter focus. And the research into where our minds wander is absolutely fascinating. When we let our attention rest, it goes to 3 main places: the past, the present, and the future. We think about the past only about 12% of the time. The present, a more productive 28%. But here's the astonishing part. Our minds wander to think about the future more than the past and present combined. Whenever your mind wanders, it's planning for the future 48% of the time. That's right. That's why you plan your entire day in the shower. This prospective bias is your brain's natural superpower for planning and creativity, and we're stifling it with constant stimulation. So, what's your version of scatter focus? Maybe it's a longer shower, maybe it's a bath, walking between rooms without your phone, or simply just waiting in line, and, waiting in line. The goal is simple. Engage in something that doesn't consume your full attention, something that gives your brilliant brain the space to breathe, wander, and connect the dots. I personally love to knit. I knit on planes, trains, in hotel rooms. It calms me, and it unleashes a torrent of ideas. I even keep a notepad next to me. Whatever it is for you, find it and make space for it. Part 5. 2 seismic shifts to reclaim your brain. After this deep dive into the science of focus, we need to make 2 fundamental shifts in how we approach our attention. The first shift: we're constantly told to hustle harder, to fit more in. I'm here to tell you, as a self-proclaimed lazy person who oddly has a lot to say, that's wrong. We don't need to fit more in. We're doing enough. We're doing too much. So much, in fact, that our minds never get to wander anymore, and that's when our best ideas and plans come to us. Think about traffic on a highway. What allows traffic to move forward isn't how fast the cars are going. It's the space between the cars. Your work, your life, your brain, they're exactly the same. We need more space. The second shift: we traditionally see distraction as the enemy of focus. But as we've discovered, it's not the enemy. It's a symptom of a deeper problem. Our minds are chronically overstimulated. When you reframe distraction this way, the solution becomes clear. Reduce the overstimulation, and your focus will naturally return. Part 6. Your 2-week Brain Reset Challenge. So, here's my challenge for you. A simple, powerful 2-week brain reset. For the next 14 days, commit to making your mind less stimulated. Don't just take my word for it. Notice what happens to your attention. How many more ideas do you get? How does your focus change? How many plans do you make?
Here's how to do it. Hang? How many plans do you make? Here's how to do it. Leverage your devices. Most phones have features that let you track and limit screen time. Use them. Not just to be aware, but to actively cut down. The evening disconnection ritual. Establish a nightly digital Sabbath. Mine is 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. From 8 to 8, my internet is off. Period. My partner and I even have a weekly tech Sabbath every Sunday to reconnect with the real world, the actual physical world. Rediscover boredom, the gentle way. You don't have to call Air Canada. Please don't. That's a hellish experience. But for a few minutes each day, just lie on the couch. Sit quietly. Take a walk without a podcast. Let your mind wander. You'll be amazed at the remarkably fruitful things that emerge from that attentional zone. Because if there's one profound truth I've uncovered after years of research, it's this. The state of our attention determines the state of our lives. A life of constant distraction is a life that feels overwhelming, directionless. But a life where your mind is calmer, less stimulated, and allowed to wander, that's a life filled with productivity, focus, creativity, and a much deeper sense of purpose. It's not just about doing more, it's about living better. So, are you up for the challenge? Thank you for watching. If this video sparked something in you, if you're ready to reclaim your focus, then you absolutely need to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And if you're curious about exactly how to build these disconnection rituals into a busy life, our next video dives deep into a step-by-step guide you won't want to miss. Go ahead, take control of your brain.